it was a group interview for me. I remember, yeah, it was a group interview. So they asked me why I want to do my higher education and why SPJMR, and I also decided my partner school before. So they asked me why you want to go to USC Marshall itself when you are getting like other programs as well. They just wanted to check how sure I am in applying for the program. And yeah, I got it in the first interview. I went through that. They scheduled an interview with USC. They asked similar, like about my background and why I want to do in the supply chain, and what makes it different from India to US. Typical interview questions. So thankfully, I got into that also, and I gave my TOEFL, and I just joined the program. Yeah.
Great, Manoj. That's very interesting. And when you chose the GMP program at SPJMR, you had also the option to directly go to partner schools in the US. So why did you want to go through the GMP program?
In partner school, if I get to apply directly, I won't. I mean, I will get only the supply chain degree. Only I get to learn only core about the supply chain concepts. Again, which almost I knew a lot. Only I just have to cover a few more, I guess. But I won't get the opportunity of doing my management courses like marketing, finance. My thought of initially was I have to learn all the management related courses as well. I know I'm lacking in that aspect. So if SPGM or GMP program is offering that, then I was ready to learn and access that. So I chose GMP.
Yeah, so excellent. Because what happens when students join the GMP program, they are in a group, and you have two networks. So one network at SPJMR India, and then the partner school network. Plus, when you go to the US, then you are like one family. You are not alone, but you have those 30 odd, 40 odd batchmates who are there with you. So do you all often meet your batchmates in the US?
Yes, we often meet. We have a WhatsApp group, close WhatsApp groups, multiple. So yeah, we do that networking also, and we help each other out. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So now coming to so you got admitted to SPJMR GMP, and you guys stayed in the hostel initial days before Corona struck. So how was your experience on the campus, the classes off campus?
I was on the hostel itself. Yeah, so I was used to the hostel environment, and the campus is really good. It's from hostel to campus, it's really walkable and beautiful. So yeah, it was good. We spent around 2.5 months on campus, and we went on a trip for PG Lab. So that was our first get out from the campus together. Yeah, that was memorable for us. Yeah.
That's Lonala Khandala, right?
Yes, Lonala. Yeah.
So what happens in PG Lab? Because they say what happens, stays at PG Lab. But broadly, what was your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think PG Lab was it was conducted in the 3rd or 4th week itself for us. So it was an opportunity for us to bond ourselves, also to know the team better. And there are activities, group activities planned in the PG Lab in a way that you can understand the team members in a better way. And you get to learn the regular HR in a different manner, like HR human resource course in a different way. So that was the way you teach is a different way actually. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, interesting. So SPJMR is known for many of the experiential learning initiatives, and one of them is the PG Lab, where we say students become me to we. Yeah. So you go as individuals and you come back as a team of batchmates who know each other in and out, and also a lot of interaction with the professors. Yeah. So that's an interesting aspect. And again, in terms of the your academics at SPJMR, so within the 6 months, you have to do 27 credits, 30 plus subjects, different topics. So how was that? How many hours did you spend? Sleepless nights. Or what was it?
Sleepless nights, we don't know, we didn't count it, but yeah, there were many sleepless nights. But I was prepared for that journey, to be honest. I know how hectic it's gonna be to cover that many credits in a 6 month duration. So I was fully prepared for that, and I was open to learn any new course since that was the time I can open to and learn all the new courses which I'm wanted to do. Uh, yeah, we did cover all the management in 6 months, so that will be really hectic. But that makes you a better person to face the US world here, I guess. Yeah.
Great. I see a question. Somebody sent me Sanket. So Sanket asked, sir, could you please tell about kind of parameters they look for a profile-based call? Yeah. So Sanket, if you look at SPJMR for the global management program or even the other programs, so we look at some of the admission entrance exams like the CAT, the ZAT, the GMAT or GRE. There is a particular cutoff. And beyond that, we also look at the students' work experience, their extracurricular activities, some outstanding performance maybe in singing, in sports, or that's also given a due weightage. So profile-based call is the overall profile of the person. Have they done some volunteering? Have they been part of some startups? Those are some of the things we look at. Yeah. Hope that answers, Sanket. Yeah. So moving ahead, Manoj. So you joined, SPJMR, and and then you did your courses. So do you remember, any of the subjects? I would have taught you international business and maybe also
Yes,
strategy.
yes.
So any other subjects you remember? Any anecdotes from those?
Yeah, I mean, operations, which I'm really close to, and decision sciences, Excel-based modeling, PG lab, of course, and decision thinking, design thinking. Uh, First and foremost, like finance, which was our first course, which was taught by Arunima again, and marketing by VK Murthy sir. Yeah, I remember those concepts still. Decision sciences and Excel-based modeling were actually very useful in for me in the first semester of USC as well. Like they had a similar kind of a subject which is called business case models. So it is almost a kind of a decision sciences and Excel-based models in our SPJMR. So it really helped me gain that pace. Yeah.
Yeah, Manoj. So what we have often heard from our ex-students that since they study a lot, about 30 odd subjects, 27 credits at SPJMR, when they go to the partner schools, it becomes relatively easy. And many of them are the toppers of the batch or dean's list. I think you are also in the dean's list, right, Manoj?
Yes, I was in the dean's list for getting like really good GPA in first semester. Yeah.
Yeah, so that becomes much easier for them to study in the partner schools, and they're building on of what they have learned in India. So now coming to your move to the US, so the entire anxiety about visa accommodation in the US, how was that experience, and did you get some support from the office or from the alums?
Yes, I did get support from alum who were already there in US. We had a like Zoom virtual session with them before going to the visa process itself, so that we can prepare all the documentation and uh, be prepared for the what are the questions they will ask in the visa interview as well. And regarding accommodation, it will be different for different business schools. So there are lots of WhatsApp groups. I was able to find one easily, and I joined them, and I kind of reached out on LinkedIn as well to my USC alum and connected with them and asked like which are the safer areas where I can stay near to the campus as well. And there are lots of Indian communities from other programs too. So it's an easy to find since USC is in the downtown Los Angeles area. So it is easy to find an accommodation. That won't be a problem.
So when we hear of Los Angeles, it's Hollywood, right? And it's California. So how is your experience of living in that city?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked so much Los Angeles. I'm now regretting why I moved out from Los Angeles to Fremont. I'm missing LA. I didn't explore much of LA also now. There are still many parts of LA which I didn't go to. That's a beautiful city. Like it's on the shoreline of Pacific Ocean, and you won't get too much of a sun and too much like cold also. So yeah.
So Manoj, rather than speaking, why don't you show us, some details about USC, the school, some photographs.
Yeah, I have it. Share. All right, so this is about our program, US Master School of Business, and our director is Nick Pias. You can coordinate with Darcy and Katie. These are the program coordinators. So our course is a STEM course and duration of 16 months, which is 3 full semesters and 1 summer semester. You have to complete in 16 months for sure. In total 30 credits, which are 21 are mandatory and 9 are electives. And in that 30, 1.5 is reserved for internship. You have to have an internship or a project-based course. And it only takes in fall. The only intake will be in August. So right after you complete your SPJMR 6-month program, you can join directly with the regular students of USC. And it was roughly around 90 to 100 usually the batch size. Nowadays it's increasing. These are some pictures of the campus I have. It's really beautiful campus. It's a very big campus. Like it has about 30 to 40,000 of students all over the university. Like there are different schools. And this one was with my favorite professor of operations. His name is Murad Bais. He's in Department of Science and
yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, and those are the MBA credits. Yeah.
And Manoj, you mentioned that when you studied in the partner school, you had your partner, your batchmates from many other countries.
Yes, I have like so many different countries: Philippines, Vietnam, China, Afghanistan. Like there are so many who are different from different backgrounds. I have a classmate who is from Philippines, and he has his own logistics company. He runs his own logistics company, and he attends classes online. But obviously, if a person like doing such a big role, and you get to learn the real industry experience from him. I didn't have much experience in logistics part, so I get to learn from them what was their experience dealing like business with US clients and China clients and India clients. How is their thought process will be like. Yeah, we also had veterans, I guess, who worked in military, Air Force of US, and after doing their program to get into industry again.
So that's very interesting. So very similar to when you join SPJMR in India, your students from across India in different cities of India. And when you go to the US partner school, you're not only studying with the US students, but students from many other countries.
Yes.
And and as we say, MBA, one is the studies what professors like us teach you, but also the other aspect is networking. And so people like us, when worked in the corporate, we started first time going abroad. But now, while studying, you're going abroad, you're having a network, which is, when you're still a student. And those are things which will help you in the long run. So that's very, very interesting. And Manoj, in terms of people think about Los Angeles and they think about, hey, it's maybe pretty expensive to stay there. So how were like the cost of living, and, did you get some campus, jobs to offset some of the costs? So what was your experience in that?
I will agree with that point. It's little costlier compared to other cities of US, but there are lots of like opportunities as well to like compensate those. USC only have like so many on-campus jobs. Obviously, it is a 30,000 plus student university, so it's easy to find a job on campus, which will sort your all expenses, monthly expenses. I was able to get one easily. I was working for Professor Murad Bai's as a grader. Yeah, roughly around I guess $700 per month was my living expenses, and which was covered by all UFC. Like obviously, I'm working for them, and those expenses will be covered by that. Yeah.
So that's great, So you're earning while learning, and while
Yes.
grading, correcting answer papers for undergrad students. You're also learning, about
Yes,
a
and
subject.
also you get to interact with the professors and the administration and how USC is working, the administrative side. You get to see that side picture as well. Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah. Another aspect, in terms of your fees, I guess you got some scholarships. Can you talk about the scholarship and how was it? What's the process?
Yeah, usually USC doesn't offer that much of a scholarship, but since there is a like partnership between SPJMR, I got a scholarship of around $10,000. That was as far as I know, that was highest across the program. Like they offer profile-based scholarship for around $5,000 or less, but whatever I heard from my batchmates, that was highest for me, $10,000. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So we have different partner schools in the US, and we have up to 100% scholarship. Yeah. So last year, some of our students who went to partner school called Brandeis in the US, they got 100% scholarships. So it's a possibility. So as long as you have the talent, money would not be a constraint, because we also have tie-ups with banks in India where you could get loans at preferable rates. Sometimes maybe also collateral free depending on your profile. So if you have the inclination to study, so I think money would not be a constraint. And as Manoj said, he could self-finance his stay there in terms of by doing some campus jobs. So now let's come to the very interesting aspect, Manoj, of you getting internship in two big organizations. So how is the process of getting internships in the USA? Can you run us through the process? How did you prepare for it? What were the selection criterias, and what was your project in Romeo?
Job environment in US is little different from India. Like, I mean, nowadays, I guess it's same, I guess. But in India, we are used to that college assisted placement cells and run through placements for about like 1 month or odd and getting attended interviews in the college itself. But in US, it's little almost different, I guess. You have to start like 1 or 2 semesters before itself to have an internship or to have a full-time job at the right time. So we have to start like networking, have to draft our resumes, we fine-tune the resumes like multiple times, take mock interviews with career advisors at campus and obviously seniors who are interested in taking mock interviews, and lot of networking and I use like most of the time LinkedIn and Indeed to apply. And USA also has a career services portal where they post jobs and internships. So you can get to apply there as well. And yeah, career services was the key point for me as well. Like when I started applying for my first internship, I didn't had much of a positive responses, but I approached my career services cell, and I had an advisor here who like helped me in drafting my resume and like taking mock interviews of me and helping me to answer in a better way so that the interview will go well in like in my direction and in what I wanted to convey to them. So that was the biggest help I got. And at Romeo, I was in supply chain sourcing part. Romeo was into battery manufacturing, battery packs manufacturing. So that was new to me. I was in procurement, but I was handling the different commodity in Mahindra. So I understood a lot of electrical and electronic terminology and which countries are the most sourcing like supplier basis we have. And obviously I did some cost reduction projects as well in with Romeo Power.
Yeah, very interesting. So I see some questions, So Mahek asks, I have 1 year of experience. I wish to apply for Jan cohort, but I'm confused whether to apply now or should I get some more experience, strengthen my profile and apply next year. So Mahek, if you look at the GMP program, so we have a mix of students who are freshers, 2 people up to 5 years, even 8 years experience, because there are various programs with the partner schools. There are MBA programs, there are master's programs. So some of the MBA programs ask for or prefer a 2-year experience, but for most of the master's program, they also take the fresh graduates. Yeah. So you could apply now as well. So that's what I would say. Manoj, how about your class? You had also mix of freshers and experienced
Same,
people, right?
yes, yeah, we had freshers.
And USC.
Yes, at both universities we had freshers and experienced guys. It's a mix of both. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I see another question. Devansh Sharma, sorry. Sir, I have done my bachelor's in geography from University of Delhi and wanted to pursue GMP and MS supply chain. I wanted to know how inclusive both the programs are in that sense. I have been working at my family business for the last 18 months as an accountant. Would you like to take that first, Manoj? Then I can add on.
Sorry, what was the question, sir? Again?
Okay, then maybe I will then first answer. It's in the chat. So, Devansh, so if you look at our, cohort, we have, students from various backgrounds, from engineering, from commerce, from economics, a whole lot of background. So every background is sort of encouraged to join in. So we don't have any bias on a particular graduation, what you have. And that's what's the beauty of an MBA class. And now, particular to the MS supply chain, maybe I have to check on that. But there are various programs and you could apply to, at least most of them.
Yeah, I saw that post he has like he did his in geography and working as an accountant, right? We do have classmates whose like major focus will be in supply chain finance. Like if you have an accounting experience and you can use that in the supply chain by doing like mixing both of finance and supply chain, like kind of a supply chain finance roles. So I think we can do that. It will be like different roles, like we can explore in that.
If I can just add on to this, to your question, Devansh, you're saying that you're a geography graduate. In fact, all the schools, they look at diversity from different, like, so we have a lot of engineers in the class. If there's a person who's done, like we've had maths honors, we've had chemistry honors. So if there's a diversity in the class, it's always welcome. And I guess that's for all the schools because you'll have a different way of thinking. An engineer will have a different way of thinking. Somebody who's done maths honors will have a different way of thinking. So your geography honors could be actually a plus point for you.
Yeah.
I also remember Kshitij, one of my classmates who was physics honors, I guess, from Delhi University. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. So Jason has a question. Jason, you want to ask the question?
So hi Manoj.
Hi.
So I would like to know that what you're currently doing in Tesla, is it similar to what you did with Mahindra? It was totally different. And your experience with Mahindra, was it really crucial to helping you get this internship? And
yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Just to add on to that, like, are companies open to hire people who do not have relevant experience in that field, or they do require at least some experience in the related field because before you can even apply for the internship? So yeah.
Yeah. So to your first question, yes, my Tesla interview was completely on my Mahindra experience itself. And you asked like, is it same or a different? It's a different role. It's of a more responsibility than compared to my Mahindra, and I'm learning very new concepts here, how to source or how to procure for automobile industry. So this is completely new role which I've applied to. And yes, it's not like mandatory to have a relevant experience. Only it is advisable. You can apply for like if you don't have that relevant experience also, but you should able to like justify why you are applying for that in the interview maybe, or in any application process or anything. Like obviously you have to be interested in that role, right? You cannot apply you're not interested in that role. Yeah. So
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think we will take few more questions, a lot of questions. So let's get back to the talk I'm having. Like again, I'll go back to the questions. Yeah. So Manoj, so you talked about your Romeo, internship, and post that you have now recently cracked the internship in Tesla. So can you take everybody through the process? How was it? What was the selection criteria process? Yeah.
actually, I tried for summer internship only for Tesla, but I don't know why it didn't work out in summer. But when I was working with Romeo, like I updated my resume again, and with maybe now they have like seen my US experience, I guess. And one day I applied on LinkedIn, and they approached me and scheduled an interview. I had 2 interview rounds with Tesla. One was with my manager and another with the teammate. Both were technical, and they asked so many questions about my experience and what I'll do at Tesla now. Now I'm able to recollect why they asked those questions. Yeah, it's all relevant to which role you have applied, and you have to be sure why you wanted to get into Tesla, and how is your experience, like previous experience will add to them in the current role. So yeah, that was about my interview process.
Yeah, excellent, Manoj. Another question that comes to mind is, you have now studied at 2 education systems. The education system in India in one of the top schools, where SPJMR is ranked number 3 in the Financial Times, and you're also doing in the USC Marshall, which is also top school in the US. So how is the education system different in India and US? How was your experience?
It's little different in the academic wise also. In India, like I liked it more because obviously we are used to that kind of a education system, and here it will be more like extracurricular and academic kind of a environment. So you have to, I would say 60% of extracurricular and 40% of academic here, and in India it will be like 70-30, I guess. That will be a reverse. So yeah, that helped me actually because I didn't have much diverse background or something, but with this kind of environment, I get to interact with people. I was part of a global supply chain club. I'm the vice president of events in that club. So where I would get to meet all the company people and other club members. We used to organize events for club members and get to interact with our alumni. So that gave me an opportunity to lay like things to my internship as well, like preparation for my internship, like how to prepare for myself and interact with them, or yeah, in a better way. I think that helped me to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so excellent. So you're getting the best of two worlds. You're getting to know the best of the Indian academic system as well as the US academic system. And you have also, most students who do this course want to go and work in the US. But if someday they want to come back into India and work, so you also have the SPJMR network. Yeah. And suppose now Tesla is talking about entering India. So you never know, if there's something big in India, maybe, people like you who have experience in the US can also get back to Tesla in India. So that's a very interesting aspect. I see some questions here. Virti P. Sheth is asking, is that score still accepted? Yes, for the GMP program of SPJMR, that is also one of the accepted scores. You can get in touch with our team members, Dipali Vasant or Divya Mahesh, who are in this, and they could guide you on that. Then I see, another question from Mr. Ram Narayan. Yeah. So he's also an alum, long back 1990, I think 8 alum. He's asking about, people keep asking me as I went to LBS, whether to go to Europe or USA. What's your view? So maybe I will try to attempt that, Ram. So if you look at the global management program, so we have partner schools both in the US and Europe. We have partner schools both in the US and Europe. So the January cohort, the students go to the partner schools in the US, and we have another intake in June of every year, where our students go to European partners. Now each has its own, uniqueness, US and the Europe. So US, the programs are, right from 12 months to 18 months in the US. So they can do masters or they can do MBA program. And the US, the costs are a little higher, but the salaries are also higher. So that's one. Europe, generally students again go to our 3 partner schools in Germany, in France, in Netherlands, and each has its own unique. Germany is a very strong economy. There they can do normal MBA programs or masters in automobile. The shortest program, we have partner school in France, where you just study for 6 months in India and 6 months in IESEG France, and within 12 months you graduate from 2 partner schools. So Ram, that's what I would say, some of the differences. Dipali madam, if you want to add on to that.
So what I have heard from the students who've joined the program is that even the salaries, so how the fee is in slightly higher in US, the earnings are definitely much more higher. Europe being kind of a evolved economy, there the salary difference between you and your senior boss maybe just of maybe 4,000 or 5,000 euros, whereas in US there could be a huge difference. So salary wise, definitely there's a huge difference. Then what I hear from the students that in Europe there's this distinction between your personal and your professional life, which is very distinct. After 5, if you don't attend a call, your manager definitely is not going to question you. Whereas at times in US, I've heard that, the work hours could stretch. And of course, it'll depend also on your preference. So Europe has a different kind of a lifestyle, whereas US has different. And of course, salaries is the main point. So the fee are slightly higher. The scholarships are slightly higher available in US. And language is the biggest thing. So if you're going to Europe, you need to learn German, French, or Dutch, which we teach our students. We take up to 200 hours of language in the 6 months that they're here. US where that barrier is not there, because English is the spoken language, so it helps. And of course, anywhere where Indians go, if they are from a technical background, they really do very well. So that's all I could contribute. I hope it helped.
Yeah,
so I think those were my views as well. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So we have, other questions. L. Ravi Teja, you have a question you want to ask? Ravi Teja? Or maybe I will read out the question. I am a EEE engineer have experience in procurement role with 3 years and overall 4 years of work experience and looking forward for operations MBA. Any specific country which would be preferable, US or Europe, and college recommendations if any. So Ravi, as we said, the supply chain, global supply chain management masters could be a good choice for you because you are interested in that aspect. So what we offer with global management program and USC, what Manoj is pursuing, that could be a good option for you. Also for manufacturing, procurement, even Germany is a good option. So you could choose between the German partner as well as the USC, which is in, which Manoj is pursuing. Hope that answers, Ravi. Abhishek has a question. Dipali, you want to take that?
Just read out the question.
Yeah, sir, I don't have a GMAT, GRE, CAT score. If I apply in it as a deferred student, am I able to get scholarship as I have 2 years of experience in Ericsson?
Yeah, so Abhishek, you'll have to complete the GMP form as a deferred student. Once you clear this interview, your details will be sent to the partner school. They'll interview you. And so GMAT GRE has to be given. You can give it by 25th of October. The partner school will consider you as a candidate who has, say, a minimum of 550 and interview you accordingly. So your scholarship chances won't get hampered because of that. But we can only give you a proper offer letter once you have the GMAT or GRE scores in hand. We can at least let you know whether you've cleared the interview or not. But the proper offer letter will be only issued after that. So go ahead, fill up the form, and in case you have any queries, just please call me up.
Yeah. So next question, Pankuri has a question. What should one emphasize to be a more competitive candidate for landing in any high-ranked reputed partner schools? Manoj, you want to take it first? Then we can give the answer.
I don't think you should be competitive or something like that. You just wanted to have that interest in learning and strong background, I guess. You should be competitive. I don't think if you have a relevant experience or like interest and strong skill set, then for sure you'll get into any school. No, not only this one or yeah. I believe in that.
Yeah, good, Manoj. So if I can add on, Pankuri. So if you look at most of the admission process, they're looking at how genuine are you, how interested are you, your interest in that area, your valid reason for pursuing. It should not be FOMO, because others are doing, you want to do that. It's because of your own interest. And I'm sure once you get into a good school, you will do well if that's of interest to you. So interest alignment is good, and of course your good GMAT, GRE scores, CAT scores help you with the initial shortlisting. But when you're in interview process, is up to you, your knowledge, your also extracurricular. So we have students who have been very reputed singers or sports, so there are extra weightage for all rounders, because we're always looking at diversity in the class. Dipali madam, you want to add on?
Yeah, so Pankuri, as we spoke earlier also, when you're writing your SOP, you have to be absolutely clear. When you're writing, I'll just take example of GMP. When you're writing your SOP for GMP, it's going to be entirely different from your SOP, which will be written for USC or for Brandeis. So while you're writing your SOP, please start on time for both for GMP as your part, as well as for the partner school, because every time you write, you get more clarity as to what you're doing and why you're doing. So if your why is aligned with the course that the program, the college is offering, the chances of you converting are very, very high. So we've had cases where the person had a 760 GMAT, but they weren't selected by the partner school because they thought that the alignment wasn't there. Yeah. So please start writing your SOP on time and keep revisiting it. So you still have around 15-20 days. Please write, read it, rewrite, make corrections. And also what will happen in this thing is you'll be forced to think that what are you doing and why are you doing it? Is it really my interest that I want to do supply chain MBA, or my parents wanting me to do it? Or I'm doing it because my peers are doing it. So if your why is very, very clear, you'll enjoy doing what you're doing. And that will, of course, be you'll be successful at what you're doing. So all I would like to say is just focus on your why. And that will help you, because all our partner schools, I mean, it's slightly different how Manoj said that, Indian education system is different from US. Here it's more about educational. We would want the best candidate with higher GMAT and all. But I've in the past experienced at partner schools, they see that whether your ideology aligns with what they are doing, and do they see you as an alumni of theirs doing well in the places, where their people are placed. So if your why aligns with their why, definitely you're into the school. Hope this helps.
Yeah, I think very good, Deepali. Gives a perspective. Your next question, Suman Roy. Will the first 6 months of GMP at Mumbai be held in person or online? Likewise for the partner schools abroad. So Suman, if you look at, Manoj batch, as you said, so he joined, physically, and his classes ran for maybe 2-3 months physically, and then COVID stuck, and then we moved to online. So it all depends on the health situation at that point in time. And we are hoping, by the time the next batch joins in January 2022, our campus in Mumbai would open up. Recently in August, our students, junior batch of, Manoj went to partner schools in US and Germany. And in many of the places, they're having a hybrid. They're having many of the classes physically and some online. So again, it depends on the health situation in that country, that city, at a particular point in time. Yeah.
Yeah, but as of now, all our partner schools have started their classes online. Only for any of the students where there are countries where there's a restriction of traveling. So for them, they are having hybrid classes. So that option is available, and the partner schools have been very, very accommodative. They've taken care if somebody's not got a visa because the consulates were shut. They made sure that the classes are held in such a time that you can attend the classes live. You don't go through the recordings, and they will have an option where you can study some bit here. And then once you go to the partner school, you have to do little studies, but you'll have a lot of time to network and to build your CV and to do extracurricular and, build your profile towards the internship that you're looking at. But yes, as of today, all the partner schools are operating on campus, and we are also very, very hopeful, like Professor just mentioned.
Yeah. So excellent. Anurag Bose wants to ask a question. Please go ahead, Anurag.
Hi, Manoj, it's great to interact with you, and thank you for your time. And actually, I'm very much impressed that actually I'm a recent graduate student in the field of mechanical engineering. And when I got to know about the program, I was quite excited. And I have actually learned through everything that you have said in this meet. And just want to ask you about the visa process. Actually, I have from my college days, I have seen my alumni who have been to USA, and I just want to learn about the full time. Like when you, after your internship in Tesla, you may be willing to get a full time opportunity at an organization, and you need to have an H-1B visa process, right? Something like that. And so I just want to know that, like in the news, I regularly hear that visa process are not like for Indians, it's quite restricted. This type of things, there are a lot of applications, and very few percentage get students, and sometimes they don't. They have to migrate some other country, Canada, for example. So how is that process? Like, is this a misconception that companies don't actually try to hire immigrant students? So that kind of misconception I just want to learn from your side, like what it has been for you. And also the OPT, like I have heard it's a few days, like 60 to 90 days OPT. So in that time you were looking for some opportunities. How was the pressure and everything for you? Like how has your experience been throughout? Just want to learn from your side here.
Yeah, so for your first question, also like some question, no, companies do hire immigrants or international students who are on F1 visa status. They do hire and they do sponsor for H1B. And it's not like right after graduating, you have to have an H1B. You will have 3 years of period. One is for like 3 years of OPT period. So in that 3 years, you can work to any company. It's not like restricted or anything. And after in 3 years, you'll have 3 opportunities for H1B. If you get picked up H1B, yes, you can extend the process again and renew your visa status again. and the 60, it's 90 days period. After you graduate, you have to have a job offer. You have to work with a company. I don't think that's a problem if you are like graduating from a reputed school like USC. I mean, I don't know. I didn't heard from any of USC alum or SPJM or alum who faced that kind of a problem here in US. We were able to find jobs, and obviously pressure will be there. I don't say you will get easily a job like anything. You have to work hard, but it's not impossible, I would say. So you will get a job for sure. There are lots of opportunities in supply chain in US. I literally I'm seeing a lot of application open right before our graduation. I'm still in my last semester. I'll graduate in this December, so I'm pretty sure everyone will get a job if you are graduating from like top universities. Even there are my friends in US who not from USC, but they are able to get, because US has so many openings and opportunities to work in different companies. Not even manufacturing. There are different sectors here where supply chain roles are there. So yeah, I hope it answered every question, I guess.
Yeah, great, Manoj.
Thank you.
So, Anurag, if I can add on, if you look at the statistics, this year 55,000 students from India got a US visa for studies. Yeah. So many of the US universities are actively attracting Indian students, and all the GMP, most of the GMP program partner schools in US are STEM designated programs. So where you get a 3-year OPT. So, and also, since you go as a group, so before even you go, there are some, counseling sessions held with visa experts, with our alums. So you have a lot of, hand holding, so to say. But all said and done, visa is a, independent, body. They decide on the individual student. But we have not seen, any issues in that. Deepali?
Yeah, so I would just like to add that, of course, visa, you'll have guidance, but everything has to be done on your own. It's online. You just have to follow the protocol. In the last webinar, Neha Prakash had spoken a lot about the visa process. The recording will be available online. You can go through that. She had made a very important point on those 90 days that you get after graduating for working. So while you're on your campus, you can actually work for 20 hours per week, right? So it is a good idea to collaborate with the professors, and you can work on a company project, you can do a research paper, you could be a teaching assistant. So what happens is, if God forbid you don't happen to crack a job in a company, some of the professor would definitely get you some kind of employment on campus, right? So that is also counted as your work period. So it's a very good idea to be proactive. I'm sure all the students are very, very hardworking. So if you ask questions, you work on something extra apart from what the prof is asking, you get noticed. So now if today, say professor has a project that he wants somebody to work on, he'll always remember the person who's proactive in the class, and he'll probably offer it to that person. So, opportunities are there. It's you who has to seek them. So you have to keep your eyes, ears open, network with your alums, network with your GMP alumni, network with the college partner school you're going to, connect with them. Not that connect ki aaj kaam chahiye to aaj connect kiya. So if it's Manoj's birthday, you just say, oh, hi, happy birthday, Manoj. And then next time when he's changing his job, you say, oh, congratulations, hope you're doing well. So next time if something comes up and Manoj has an internship offer, he'll remember you rather than me who's just writing to him saying, hey, Manoj, I'm looking for an internship offer, right? So networking is not reaching out to people when you need something. So if you're connected with profs, alumni, definitely when there's an opening, they'll think of you and they'll help you. So just stay proactive. It's ultimately you who has to sell yourself, be it India, be it anywhere. College maybe networking hogi, there'll be companies coming in, there'll be job fairs, but you have to be active. You have to prepare your CV according to the opening. I'll share the link of Neha's interview. She's spoken very well about all these things. So please go through that. And if you have any queries, you can always connect with the alumni. If you have anything, anybody specific in mind, connect with Divya or me. We'll connect you with that person.
Also, speaking of networking, I do have a colleague who shared his experience with me while I was working with Romeo Power. He is a full-time employee now at Romeo. But right after he graduated, he was from a different university. But right after he graduated, it was COVID period, and there were companies were closed and they were not hiring. Hiring freeze was there in US. He faced a lot of issues, but thankfully his internship manager, he extended another period since this 90 days of duration was there. So he was able to maintain that network with him and connection with him. So he helped him to extend for another 3 months of internship, so that it will be a buffer time. Like everyone thought like COVID will pass like soon at that time. So it helped them in that way to give some breathe space and find a good job or full-time offer at that. Yeah. So networking will definitely help. That's another example from my side.
Thank you, Manoj. So that was good. Any other question? I see Suman has put some question on the chat. Deepali, would you like to take that? Deepali, you're on mute, Deepali.
I've got my kids running around the house, so I put it. I have 3 years bachelor's from India. With that said, will it hinder my acceptance chances for US schools considering yeah, so we've had people who've gone with the 3 years of graduation to US. Brandeis specifically, I remember there was a girl called Avira. She had studied from Symbiosis and she'd done a 3 years course. So yes, they do accept people with 3 years of education. So that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, so interesting. So any other questions?
I hope the ones who started the GMP form know that the deadline is 25th of September. So please complete your form before that. And if you're planning to apply to Brandeis, Stevens, or University of Maryland, you have to complete your form. Only once your form is complete will you be able to appear for the interviews with them. You can always submit your IELTS or TOEFL towards Brandeis and USC later. That's not an issue. USC, there's no form as of now. Once you complete the GMP form, we'll interview and you're selected. We'll share your details with them and they'll interview you against those details. And once you've cleared the interview, you fill their form later. Okay, so if you have any other queries regarding any form or any school, please, you can ask us now or you can always connect with Divya and myself later. She's already shared our contact details in the chat already.
Yeah, so we have some of our current students also here. So would you like to ask some questions, Charishma or Zeel? So
share your experience maybe if you want to talk something about GMP.
Oh yeah, I just want to add that right now I'm like 2 months or 3 months into GMP, and it's been a very amazing ride so far. Like it's way more than I expected in terms of subjects, the faculty that I'm learning from, and also being on campus right now. It's an amazing networking experience as well. So every day we're collaborating with PGDM and PGDM people, and the faculty that we're learning from is the same, like across all the 3 batches. So it's been a wonderful experience so far, and now I think we're prepping to we're getting our visas and everything ready, and we'll be flying out very soon. So the time is almost flown by much faster than we realized. So yeah, I think I really encourage everybody in the audience, who are probably tentative about GMP and they're thinking what to do. I think it's a very it's the correct step if you want to take for your future, and especially like an international career. There is at least I don't have 2 opinions about it. I would definitely recommend anybody from my family or my younger sister to go ahead with it without a doubt. So definitely anybody in the audience, if you're like on the fence about it, please go ahead. It's an amazing program.
Yeah, good to hear, Zeel. So I think we are on time. There is I think one more question from
In fact, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charishma is here, who's going to the US, and I think she had some direct offers also. So if she would like to share how she decided to join GMP and what were her reasons, maybe some of you could relate to that as well.
So hi guys, so I've joined GMP and I just want to say that this is an amazing ride. 6 months they're going to prepare you as a foundation courses that you learn a lot. And I have also talked with my alumni over there, and everyone says that the foundations that they give you here are going to be a stepping stone for you in the foreign university. So and every day they prepare you with a lot of hurdles, like they'll give you a lot of case studies that you're gonna solve, like literally 150 case studies in front of you. And every day there'll be assignments, and you'll always have beautiful mentors like here to guide you, like Dipali ma'am and Sejal ma'am and Divya ma'am for anything. And trust me guys, SPJMR is not a institute, it's like a family. They treat you like their own people, and everything they guide you from a small issue also they'll take care, and they'll help you to do the betterment in your career. And if you're going to compare it to any other college also, I think it's the right choice that I've made here, coming to SPJMR GMP. And I know for a reason that if I'm going to get flunked anywhere, I know for a reason that my Indian family would be here to help me out. So I made a stronger bonds here, and I wish you also enroll to this kind of program, so that this is going to be a milestone for you, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot, Cherry. There's a question from Suman. She says that she wants to opt for a non-STEM program. So Suman, our partner schools, like say if you're going to something like a Brandeis, they're very, very flexible. You can always go there as a non-STEM program, but after going there, maybe if you realize that you want to go ahead with the STEM program, you will be able to change it. And we have had students. There's a girl called Malvika Lakshmi. Though she had an option for going for a STEM program, she did go for a non-STEM and she did manage to get a job on time. Then we had another person called Rati who went for a specific program, and 6 months down the line, she realized that she wanted to go for their double degree program. So Brandeis was very, very helpful, and they did change it for them, for Rati. But if you're going for say something like USC or the quantitative finance in Maryland, so there are not many options. So you'll have to stick to the course you're going to. But if you're going to some course where some school where there are more options, even like Stevens, say suppose you selected one particular program, but you're interested in another, as far as you qualify and you clear the interview, the schools are very, very cooperative, and they will adapt, accommodate you. And for the non-STEM, I think, it really doesn't make a lot of a difference. And by the time you guys are going to be in the job market, you'll have many more batches who would have settled in. So there'll be a lot of guidance. So, you don't have to invent the wheel again. You just have to figure out how you can make it more comfortable, because the wheel is already invented. So Manoj, like when he went, he did a whole lot of homework, how to, find a place which was economic, which suited. He's an Indian, he can guide you. Okay, this place is good to stay, this place is good to shop. So you don't need to work on those basic things. So if you stay connected with the GMP alumni, life is going to be really, really easy for you. So it's up to you how much help you want to take from these guys. And you can always connect with Malvika. Her name is Lakshmi Malvika. If you, I can send you her email ID, Suman, in a while. You can connect with her and ask her how things were for her.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis for people who had, sorry.
Yeah. To add on what Dipali is saying. So our program started in 2010. Yeah. And January 2022, 15th batch. And we have about 500 alums who are working across Europe, USA. So it's a big family, and it's a close-knit family. Yeah. So once you join, you're part of that family, and people are there to help.
It's really out of context, but I'd like to add that there's this person called Navin Prasad. He's a very, very successful alum of ours. He was in Paris. And in 2014, when the new batch went in, these guys actually, bought them ration also. So they were that helpful. They thought, these guys are coming in, it'll take them time to settle. They actually had got them ration worth for a week. They took care of their meals, how to buy, where to go. So, this kind of support system, how Cherry said, SPJMR is actually a family. So you'll be taken very good care of. We connect you, like see right now we've connected with you with few alumni. Once you join the GMP program, we connect you with your specific school alums. And there's another group of alums who kind of have a session with you, which is spread over 3-4 months, where they tell you how to adapt to a particular culture, what to do, what not to do. And the final session is how to pack before you're traveling. Because we've had students who reached the particular country and the luggage got left behind. So they survived 1 week without anything. So now she takes a session as to, considering your luggage has got left behind, how will you survive for a week? So to pack that hand luggage. So this kind of guidance, I doubt anybody gives you. And you may not find it very believable when I say it, but you can always connect with Jason, Zeal, or Cherry, or any other from this batch or from the alumni and see what kind of support system is provided for.
Yeah, and the alums is one is the GMP alum, but also there's a bigger SPJMR alum. So about 2 years back, I was in the Boston alumni meet of SPJMR, and about 25 people came in, and we had lunch together. And those are people who are have started their own company, presidents of companies, and a whole lot of people. And when our students go to Brandeis, they already have that network of 50 odd people of SPJMR across programs at Boston. Yeah. So those are some of the things. And I see Ram here. Ram is 1998 alum of SPJMR. Ram, you want to say something about SPJMR?
Yeah, great. See, I went when I was in SPJ 96 to 98. I think it didn't have the size that we have right now. But still then, at the time, whenever I moved abroad, we could latch onto the SPJ network. And right now, since it's a global, I'm sure like what the people said, you can latch onto the network. And over the years, see, I've seen SPJ has become a global institute. So therefore, I think getting references, getting connections is very, very easy. In fact, when I went for my second year MBA at London Business School, I hooked on to some of the SPJ guys from my batchmates and somebody who are working in UK already who helped me out with other logistics, and of course who also helped me out with jobs also out there. So yeah, so therefore, like what I would suggest to all the people are starting and looking at global MBAs, networking is important thing. You have big alumni network to bank upon. Almost 35 years of alumni was spread all across the world. And the alumni team and people like Professor Debraj, who reach out to the alumni for sessions also, they're very well connected. So I think all I think it's a great opportunity which people should look up to. And as people have been saying, SPJ family is big. I fully agree with that. So
Thanks,
all I think it's a big thing. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Ram. So I think we are little over time.
That's the last question, Professor.
Yeah, sure.
From Munish, you can take that.
Yeah, I will just see that. Yeah.
So he's asking, being a fresher, will he be able to work for all the MNCs?
Yeah, is this program good for a fresher, and do they consider freshers for placement in big MNCs? So, if you look at, as I said, our batches are a mix of freshers and experienced students, and we don't see any discrimination from the corporates in terms of freshers. So they take freshers for their unbiased thinking, for their knowledge. They take the experienced people for a particular industry knowledge. So each have their own advantages. So I don't think you are in any disadvantage if you're a fresher or you're experienced. Both have the job market, the niches which are there.
So I just like to add on that being a fresher, in fact, turns out to be of your advantage, because you are like fresh clay. So, the company can mold you any way they want and whatever interest you have. So there are many, Manoj, correct me if I'm not wrong, there are more openings for freshers than there are for people with experience. So being a fresher could work in your advantage. And also working with MNCs, like, you want to be a consultant at EY, that's your dream, but that won't happen the day you start your job. You'll have to build your profile slowly and steadily. So you'll do jobs that will support your dream. And then eventually, maybe after 5 to 7 years, you will get into the role you're looking at. So you'll have to work towards that. Definitely can join a MNC, but it won't be at that role that you're dreaming, right? Everybody has a dream to work with Google, Facebook, or Tesla, but you can't be a supply chain operations manager in day one. You'll have to start from somewhere in the lower step and then build your career accordingly. So yes, definitely the program can help you get in.
Yeah, great. I think, so Manoj, your parting words of advice to, all the prospective students or who are here.
Nothing much. Just be confident and be sure about what you're doing at SPJMR or in your partner schools. And I'll say all the best. And hopefully, I'll meet soon some of you here.
Yeah, great. I think all of you can get in touch with us. The details are on the, in the chat. So thank you, Manoj, for joining us late night from California. And always good to interact with my old student. Reminds me of our days in the class.
Yes, it reminded me all the memories now for me also. Thank you so much.
Manoj, can I ask for a small favor? If they are okay with it, can you share your email ID so that if anybody has any specific question for you, they can get in touch with you?
Sure.
Will that be okay?
I can. Yes, I can share.
So anybody who's planning to get in touch with Manoj, please remember the time frame. There's a time difference between him and us, and he's working and he's taking care of his own laundry and cooking and getting all the stuff in. So please give him some time to get back to you.
I will reply for sure, but it will take
there
some
might
time.
Be a little delay.
Late. Yeah, that's it. I will reply for sure.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
also
you.
posting my LinkedIn ID here. All right. I'll
Thank you
take
so
it,
much,
Professor.
Manoj.
Thank you very
Ali,
much,
ma'am.
everybody.